What makes the best neighborhoods is when all of the people that live in the neighborhood care about the neighborhood and participate in the neighborhood.
We wanted to create a brand of inclusivity, that everyone's welcome here.
There's so much going on. It's such a phenomenal place to explore.
I can't really think of any place else to be in the city, and the exposure that we get from the gallery hop would take years in what we get in one night. Probably 5,000 people can come through the gallery that night.
Just look down the street and just watch the traffic go by and watch the people go by, and you'll see all different walks of life. And I think that's what's great about this environment here.
So they get out on the street and they walk around and they visit the various galleries and they eat in the various restaurants and shop, and it's wonderful.
Being able to walk a couple blocks and not have to drive anywhere and meet up with friends. I mean, everything that's kind of cool in Columbus sort of centers around the Short North.
It glows, you know, it's sort of literally with the lights and the arches, it glows, and people are drawn to it.
It's a really special neighborhood. We think it's one of the most vibrant urban districts in all of the country, certainly the Midwest.
The Wood Companies have been a part of the story of the Short North since the very beginning. If it weren't for Sandy and his vision and his leadership in community building, the neighborhood wouldn't be what it is today.
We worked with the neighbors from the bottom and started building the community up. That really made it strong, because neighbors had a real stake in making their neighborhood a better place to live.
The Short North Arts District is one of the oldest parts of the city of Columbus. The Wood Companies played an incredible role in helping to preserve that. And some of the really iconic buildings that we have here in the neighborhood were really saved and rehabbed and revitalized.
We said, go get the best of whatever we can find. The finest art galleries, restaurants that are cut above the chains. And of course, we want to be good neighbors to everybody, but we'd like to have all the best of everything in the Short North, of course.
It wasn't about who was going to pay the highest rent. It was more about the experience that these business owners would bring to the neighborhood.
You know, I think that's the nice thing about this business is that it's independent, just like the Short North. We welcome artistic ideas.
And the character of the neighborhood has had a big impact on the character of our business and the culture of our business.
We've partnered with Shift Capital, who share our vision of creating something special in the Short North.
It's a little slice of New York here. You could come down here on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock and park your car and not leave till Monday morning and have a great weekend.
I think when you're in the Short North and when you're in one of these boutique properties, you're absolutely at the center of what's happening in Columbus.
And that's true with all of the development that we're doing within the boutique collection. These are integrated into the neighborhood beautifully. I mean, the Denison and Sanborn project is a great example of that, where it sits among single-family homes just off of Goodell Park. It's the type of location that you can't replicate.
When we work with Mark Wood particularly, I think he encourages us to develop these apartments as though they were homes, and he looks upon them as though they are homes. They may not be his home, but they're a home for somebody.
I really like the beauty of the neighborhood. The fact that they took a hotel and made something with a lot of character, modern.
You'll see effort put into the exterior design of these buildings with materials that really are lasting materials, stone, brick. They really are sort of rich, timeless buildings on the exterior. And that's kind of a hallmark, I think, of the Wood Company's designs.
They've done a wonderful job of making it look like it's part of the Denison, even though it's brand new. So I sort of get the best of both worlds. So I have something that's brand new that looks like it's been here for 100 years.
Mark is always sort of encouraging us to sort of think outside the box and think of materials that have an authenticity and a richness to them that'll stand the test of time.
100 years from now, we want people to say, boy, this is a neat building, and it aged well, and it patinaed well.
What set itself apart was the finishes, was the countertops, the oven, the kitchen, the hardwood floors. You know, it is an apartment I am renting, but I don't feel like I'm renting an apartment. I feel like I'm in a condo. We really feel like these locations are one of a kind. The personalities of each of these are unique, both in architecture and in location. The Diplomat Building, I think, is maybe the single most architecturally significant building on High Street. I mean, you just have to look at that building and love it.
Hubbard Park Place is kind of a unique project because at the very top of the building will be a much more exclusive amenity, which is the pool top garden. It'll have just breathtaking downtown views. It really will seem almost spa-like. And I think, again, the finishes and the quality of that environment at the rooftop is going to be just spectacular.
When you have rental properties that are well maintained, then it invites a variety of people into the neighborhood. And that's the best thing about the Short North, is just how many different kinds of people are here.
No matter kind of what your socioeconomic background is, or whether you're from the burbs or from the city here, this is an enjoyable spot and people love to come here.
When I think about the future of the Short North Arts District, what excites me the most is what the resident who hasn't even moved in here yet is going to discover and learn about themselves, the friendships that they'll make.
The Short North has enriched my life so much because my best friends have businesses here, shop here, and live here. So my life wouldn't be my life without the Short North.
And I think you could say that maybe the Short North wouldn't have happened without Sandy Wood. I don't think it would be as good as it is now without Mark Wood. So I think the two of them are really responsible for this renaissance that's happened with the Short North. In Columbus neighborhoods, the Short North really is the outstanding neighborhood to be in.